Hey everybody, Superfluous J here with another Factorio for beginners, and today we're making a mall. I've been talking about the mall forever, and I'm finally going to make it. Before I do that though, I'm going to run all the way up to the top of the pack here and pick up some more bricks, because we need, as usual, a ton of bricks to... Let's hit the plus key to make this larger. We need a ton of bricks in order to keep the ability to run all the way up and all the way down a little bit faster as we go. So I'm just gonna pave this out a little bit. Oh, that's pretty good. The mall itself is also going to be paved. I'm eventually going to pave all of this, but the mall in particular I want to be paved. So we're starting the mall here, and as I said before, I want to have 8 lines between everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we actually have an extra line here, and I'm going to utilize that. I'm going to put something on this line. I don't know what yet, but there's going to be something on that line. There's also going to be belts in my inventory in a second here, because I took them all out of my inventory for some reason. But what we want to do here is we want to make a mall that makes everything that that we're not making in order to make science. And you obviously don't know what those things are, but basically everything in this list is fair game for that. So we don't really need to make steam engines and boilers. We're only going to make those on demand, so we can make those in our inventory. Burner miners are the same way. We don't really need those. Electric mining drills, though, they're useful throughout the entire game. So let's start there. Iron plates, iron gears, and electronic circuits. That seems like a pretty good thing to put on the 3 lines on this side of the mall. So we're going to put, we're also going to utilize double belting things. So we're going to probably need a lot of iron, and we're probably going to need a lot of circuits. And I actually think that we're going to need enough circuits that we're going to have a dedicated line of circuits coming down into the mall. Like that. And then we're going to have another line here of something that's going to have gears on one side and something else on the other. So we're going to make gears like this. Oh, I did it wrong. Let's do it like this. And I think I already know what I'm going to put on the other side. And that's going to be steel, which is going to be really easy to do because gears and steel are right next to each other. So let's run steel all the way down. Match it up here. And we're going to have to go like this, and then we can just wrap this around like that. And then when steel comes down, he's going to go around like that, and there we go. And he'll be on one side, and gears will be on the other side, because you don't need a lot of steel and a lot of gears for a lot of these things. And we want these things to be right on line with this, because remember, I added this one. This is why you leave a space here in case you need to add stuff in the middle. But this is the line where I want to start all of my factories, so I have this space here. So the first thing I want to make on here is let's go ahead and make electric mining drills. We're already got all the stuff for it. So what we're going to do here is we need to do that. Whoops, we need to do that, and we need to do that, because we need stuff off of all 3 of these belts. So we need a long inserter there. We need a long inserter there to grab off of this belt. And then we need a inserter there to grab off of this belt. Now, if these guys get power, they'll start making electric miners. And I'm going to put the electric miners, I can either put them here, or I can put them here, or even here. I think I'm going to put them as far as possible. I think that'll work. The same reason that works, that'll work. And I don't actually have things powered as well as they could be. I'm going to need a power pole on this side, and then a power pole here, and a power pole here. I think that'll work. And then as soon as he gets enough gears and stuff, he's going to make a miner. And then he's going to take that miner and put it in that box. And that is perfect. We are now making miners. Now, we don't want to make a billion miners. Like before, we're going to restricted to 2. We restricted to 2 up above in the mall up above. And one thing about the mall that I mentioned up above was that we're going to be starved for ingredients sometimes, especially as I make the mall to begin with. That's okay. The mall doesn't need to run full time. It's only there to make things for me to do later. Okay, stone furnaces, I'm going to skip those. We don't need them. Assembling machines, those are important. We're going to need assembling machines. I know for a fact that there are 3 levels of assembling machines, so I'm just going to lay these out as placeholders for the 2nd and 3rd levels of assembly machines. And I happen to know also that they take each other as ingredients, so we're going to do that. And actually, I'll leave it like that. So then what I need to do here is make this guy make assembly machines, and he needs iron plates, iron gear wheels, and electronic circuits. Well, guess what? That's what we have right here. So I can copy this and paste it right here. That underground belt was in the way because I had copied, I had already placed the underground belt like that, but this will work fine. This guy can grab from here. This is in the way now, which is a little annoying, but I can go like this. These guys can reach through power poles. And because that power pole was there, it didn't paste this inserter down, so I can do that. Now this guy doesn't have any power, so we can put a pole right there, and now he's making these assemblers. So now we can do that, and I'm going to limit this to 2 stacks as well. Okay, these guys don't matter, but I guess I'll continue the power pole-ness going on. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. Oops. Throw it a little bit farther. I did a little bit of damage there to the assembler. Throwing grenades too close, but not a big deal. We can fix it back up with a repair pack, and we're good to go. Okay, science labs. We don't need to make those in the thing. We're going to make a certain number of science labs, then we're never going to make any more for the rest of the game, so that's not a big deal. These things don't matter. Weapons are going to matter, but they're going to matter for the science. Radar is probably not going to matter. Gun turrets. Actually, I don't remember. They've changed recipes for things. Nope, don't need gun turrets for here. So we're going to make gun turrets in the mall. So gun turrets require iron plate, copper plate, and gear wheels. So now we're at a point where we don't have something on the belt that we need. So we're going to run copper plate here. And copper plate is another one of those resources that you don't actually need a lot of. So I'm only going to run half a belt, and then we'll save the other half for something else in the future. A lot of times you don't need copper, you need copper wires, or you need electronic circuits. So a lot of your copper use actually gets put into just making tons and tons of electronic circuits. So I'm going to do this. Oops, what am I thinking? I'm not, that's the problem. I need this to match up here, and we're going to do undergrounds the whole way. There we go. Now we got copper coming down here on one side of the belt. As usual, we can just kind of use undergrounds to get around all this stuff. We're probably going to do something along these lines. That works fine. And then this guy's going to be making turrets, and he needs lots of iron, lots of copper, and lots of gears. So we'll run these lines down. And we need iron, and we need gears, and we need copper, and we need power. And then we need, yet again, another box with one of these guys stuffing into that box, and we want to restrict that box to probably 1, maybe 2. We could probably do 2. Now notice this is taking forever to stuff all the ingredients into there, and it's also taking forever to make them. We don't care. We're going to come back later and pick these up, and then we'll get them at the time. And that's actually it for them all right now. We don't really need a ton of radars. We can make those as we need them. We don't need to make guns or bullets or anything like that. Actually, you know what? We do need to make bullets, but we're going to make those for military science. And we don't need anything else, like offshore pumps, things like that. We're not going to be making enough of them to matter. One thing I do want to make, though, is repair packs. That's something we can make in our little factory here. So let's go ahead and actually, we're going to probably need power on those. We're going to need repair packs. So iron gear wheels, electronic circuits, simple to make. Boom, and actually it's a yellow one, so we'll put it there. Oop. Underground. Just continue this one so it's there. Put repair packs in the ingredient list. Put a belt, let's put it in the middle, why not? And then we can just keep running this this belt under so it can continue on and make other things going off this way. And as always, we wanna limit that. Let's limit it to 2. And now we're making a whole bunch of stuff. We're making all the things we need. As we need to expand assemblers and inserters and belts. We can grab those as we need them, and eventually robots will be delivering to us. But this is our starter mall, and we're going to have these 2 lines possibly coming out all the way here with other ingredients on them. We're going to have other major ingredients being fed from the mall to them. So, oops, hurt myself. Just destroy those, and then that's it. Simple. It's a mall. it's not a complicated thing, really, when it comes down to it. Let's go up here and grab some more bricks. And then while we're running up here, though, I want to talk about the next actual science we're going to research. Let's go ahead and do that. As I mentioned, there's bigger assemblers, and one of those is the assembly machine 2. It's actually a pretty big one. So I think I might do that one first. There's also landfill. There's also better furnaces, which are always nice, and a whole bunch of other stuff. This circuit network is kind of a big deal too. There's a lot of stuff. But I think I'm actually going to start with electronic energy distribution. So I'm just going to start that, and we'll talk about it when the time comes. I may also make a bunch of labs just so we research these things faster. How many labs do we have? I think I said, I thought for a second I thought those were biters. We have 8. Let's go ahead and double it. 5, 6, 7, 8. I right click for 5, left click for the other ones. And then while those are running, while I'm making those, I'm going to grab a bunch more bricks. I think I need to run steel down farther. I think I'm going to actually use these bricks here. Let's cover all this with bricks because I keep not cutting this corner here because I'm not running on the brick, so I might as well do that. It looks like steel is coming down pretty far. Did I actually put it on already? I did put it on already. Okay, cool. So okay, military science. I should probably also research military science. I'm a little leery about doing it because I want to only research a science after I've completely emptied the other ones, but I kind of want to get my bullets going. So I think I'm gonna break that rule, and I'm gonna talk about military science without even researching it. You know what? I think I'm gonna research it just so we have it when the time comes because I've already talked about it now. Military science is going to give us a bunch of upgrades for military stuff, obviously. In order to make it, you need piercing rounds, you need grenades, and you need walls. And in order to have walls, you need bricks, which, guess what? We forgot to put on the bus. So let me head all the way back up here so we can start running bricks down here instead of just stuffing them in a box. And I had mentioned earlier that bricks are destined to go on this line, so let's go ahead and get them ready here. And this seems like a good place to sneak them through. I think I'm going to run that underground like that. And like that. Whoops. There we go. How you do this doesn't really matter as long as it gets done. And bricks are going to be coming down this line right here. And I think I'm going to leave this these blue arms here. I'm grabbing them to put them in the box just for now. But eventually that's all going to get done down there. So let's go ahead and run this guy underground, turn the corner, and then now we've got bricks on the bus. And we can just run them all the way down and run out of belts. Luckily, as always, we're making more. It's nice to just have them available. If you handcraft these things, you end up with your handcrafting queue just full of junk that you never actually run out of, and it's a huge pain. This way we always have belts available to us because they're in the mall. So okay, we're going to start military science. This is the last line here, so we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is going to be the first belt that makes military science. And for military science, as I said, we need, I need to go into here. For military science, we are going to need piercing rounds, grenades, and walls. Okay, so piercing rounds, we can already make them, and we should be making them because they're much better than the regular rounds. Piercing rounds take regular rounds though, so we're going to need to make regular rounds, which luckily only take iron. Let's go ahead and start with a line of iron, as you frequently do in this game. And let's just go ahead and accept that. That's not a good line of iron because it's got other stuff on it. This is a pretty good looking line of iron. We'll just take this like that, paste it right there, put our splitter on, run this up, and now we've got a line of iron. And as usual, I put one too many. So there's our line of iron. Okay, now this is going to let us make bullets. And I think we're going to probably want, I think we're probably going to want to make 3 things of bullets. Because if you look here, bullets take 1 second to craft. Piercing rounds take 3 seconds to craft. Actually, I was wrong about that. We want 1 thing of bullets for every 3 things of piercing rounds. So we only want 1 bullet. And I think I'm actually going to do it like this. Oh, like that. And like that. And I'm gonna accept a little bit of what's it called? Inefficiency. I could do something like this and be crazy. But that messes up belts, and we'll be fine. But we need we're gonna need iron off of these belts, and you know what? I'm just gonna accept the fact that I need blue inserters, because if you look here, you can actually tell this. I haven't mentioned this kind of thing before. Rotation speed, 864 degrees per second. There are 360 degrees in a circle, so 720. So he could rotate all the way fully around more than twice per second. So to grab things off the belt, he could do it 4 or 5 times per second. These guys have, and I'm looking on the right here, just so you know, these guys rotate 302 degrees per second, so he won't be able to grab 2 items per second. Because 180 degrees to belt to thing, he can only, he can at best grab 2 items per second. Bullets need 4 iron plates per second, so we need a blue inserter to put these in. And then these guys, they take 3 seconds to craft, and they don't really need that much stuff, so whatever we happen to be using to put stuff in there is going to be fine. Okay, he also needs copper and steel. So copper and steel we're going to put on the same line. Much like we did before, and it's going to be this line right here. The problem with that, of course, is that this line is right next to, I say of course as if you know it, this line is right next to here, so if I do something like this to split copper off, I won't be able to put a belt here in order to get copper on one side. There isn't room because this underground is here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split the copper off 1 thing too early, and then find my steel line, and then split my steel line off. Actually, I messed that up. Let me grab all the copper here until we start getting just copper on one side. There we go. There's copper on one side. Then I'm going to do the same thing with steel, but it's going to go like this. Actually, I can do it one more up, down. And then he's going to go around like this. And then like this. And then when he comes out here, actually, it's kind of a pain sometimes to get these things to work correctly. But when he comes out like this, then we'll have that. And I actually want him to go there. So we can do an underground here. That'll work. And then I need to use undergrounds on the other belts that are coming down in order to get around that. But then I'm going to run that all the way here, and then I'll just zigzag it. so that it's where it is. That's another reason you leave space here, so that if you need to do things like this, you have the room to do it. So then I need to be able to pull the things off this belt like that. And then I need to power it, as always. So we'll throw a power pole there and there. And then as always, we put them on the two sides of the, like just the edge of this one, and then the edge of what's going to be this belt. And now we're making a ton of these guys. And they need to be spat out onto a belt. What are we missing? What ingredient are we missing? Regular bullets. That's because I put my inserters backwards. There we go. Now these bullets are getting shoved into here, and he's going to be spitting out. Oh, we got our military science, and we also researched. What else did we research? Oh, electromagnetic energy distribution. I'll be talking about that in a moment. So he's going to spit his bullets out onto the belt right here. Now, as I said, he's making a belt, or sorry, a bullet every 3 seconds. And as we talked about, we want to be able to craft a certain amount of science. We want to be able to craft a military science every second. So now that we know how to make military science, I can come in here and look and see that military science takes 10 seconds. So we need every 10 seconds. Well, yeah, let me think about this. It's math in my head time here. We need we're going to need 20 machines because they take 10 seconds to craft. Those 20 machines are going to need 20 piercing rounds every 10 seconds. So that's 3 seconds. I can't do the math in my head. I'm not going to do the math in my head. I'll do it on paper next time because we're getting close to the end of the episode anyway. Actually, we're beyond the end of the episode anyway. So tell you what, I'll talk about military science next time. But this is how you make bullets, and bullets are great. Advanced bullets. I actually want to use up all these bullets. So I think I'm also going to do this. I'm going to put a belt here. I'm sorry, a box here, and I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put all these bullets in here, so that they get shoved into here as well. I'm not sure. Let me take these off. Actually, I'll just take them off for now. That way, the bullets come from here. And when I notice this box is out of bullets, then I'll put these arms back. Inserters. So that's it for today. We got the beginnings of them all. We're going to be spreading them all down as we unlock new things, including the things I just unlocked that I'll talk about next time. The power poles. I'm going to switch over to these power poles exclusively. We also could probably put pipes on the bus here. They're useful enough that you like to have a lot of them. So, but that's next time. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later.